Good evening and welcome into the U Show, week number 6. Ezra Gennello along with you. It's hard to believe that it's already week 6, almost week 7 in just about an hour or so in the USHL. I'm wearing my USHL sweatshirt because the weather outside's getting colder, which means the action inside is just heating up in the 16 different USHL facilities. And let me tell you, it was scorching hot on the ice this weekend. Tons of action, tons of stuff on the ice, off the ice. We have a special interview today with the USHL Week 6 Goalie of the Week, Alan Lendak. A little later in this show, the Fargo netminder 2-0 this weekend. We'll talk about his fellow USHL Players of the Week. We'll take a look at the scoreboard from Week 6. Of course, the schedule for Week 7, like I mentioned. Week 7 starts in just about an hour or so out in Dubuque. We'll talk about that matchup and some others that we're paying attention to this weekend. We'll take a look at some of the top plays from this week as well. A jam-packed episode of the U Show this week. Again, thank you so much for tuning in this Tuesday night. We appreciate you spending time with us, and it's a good pregame show, maybe, for the game in Dubuque going on a little later. But before we talk about the stuff on the ice, I have my notes, and it's all about the promotions. We love the promotions here in the U Show, and we love the promotions that benefit the local communities, and that's exactly what the USHL did as a whole in the month of October, raising over $85,000 towards cancer awareness and treatments and local facilities around the USHL. Sioux City, Omaha, Youngstown, and Cedar Rapids, all teams that wore special cancer awareness jerseys. In fact, Youngstown, they wore special jerseys that were designed in honor of Melina Michelle Edenfield, who passed away at the age of 4 from DMG, that's diffuse midline glioma. Her mom, dad, and sisters dropped the puck for the Phantoms over the weekend. You see those spectacular-looking jerseys with the ribbons on the shoulders. Rusinski, a good model for them there. It was a good weekend in Youngstown, a big weekend with some big meanings. They picked up some wins, too. Points on the table in Youngstown, forget about it. The Phantoms, they had one of the best home records last year in the USHL, and they're doing the same thing this year as well. But promotions-wise, it was a good October, and it's shaping up to be a good November. It starts this weekend with a couple of military appreciation nights in Omaha and Madison. Both teams wearing special jerseys this weekend on the 2nd, while 8 total teams around the USHL will have military appreciation nights. I know in Muskegon, their military appreciation night will come later in the month. I think on the 23rd when they play against the Sioux Falls Stampede, they'll wear special jerseys as well. But we love promotions. We love promotions that benefit the communities. The USHL as a whole did a great job in October with Breast Cancer Awareness Month and raising funds for those efforts. And the USHL is continuing to push that momentum into November with military appreciation and benefiting the local communities and the veterans within them. But that's off the ice. How about on the ice? The meat and potatoes around the USHL. It was a fun week last week in Week 6. We take a look at the scoreboard, and it got off in Youngstown with a 5-4 win over Sioux City. That was a tightly contested matchup over at the Covelli Center all week, and the Phantoms, they picked up the weekend sweep, though, a commanding 6-1 win on Saturday over top the Muskies. The Lumberjacks and Chicago Steel went at it in Muskegon. A 5-4 regulation win for the Steel on Friday. A 4-1 win for the Lumberjacks on Saturday. Their home opening weekend, it was Flannel Fest in Muskegon, and they put on a show. 2 tightly contested games, 2 games that the fans were loving to watch, both in person and on the official live stream partner of the USHL. The NTDP, they lost both their games last week. The 17s were in Dubuque taking on the Fighting Saints. 3-0 in favor of Dubuque on Friday, 3-2 on Saturday. Tri-City and Lincoln on Friday, 5-3 for the visitors, the Storm, while the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders fell on the road in Madison, 3-2 to the Capitals. Fargo and Omaha went at it all weekend. This was a big matchup. The defending champs coming off a big homestand, going going on the ice against a team riding a 4-game win streak, the Omaha Lancers, in Omaha at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Tight game Friday, 3-2 win for the Force. Not quite as tight on Saturday. On Saturday when the Force picked up a 5-3 win. Still a tight game there. 4-3, the Bucks picked up the overtime win over Waterloo to round out the Friday schedule. More games on Saturday, and the lone game that came on Sunday, that was the Omaha Lancers taking on the Sioux Falls Stampede. Tons of action in the USHL last week. Tons of good action. And I said it at the end of last week's episode of the U Show. Doesn't matter which game you turn on, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You could be in North Dakota, in Fargo. You could be in Plymouth, Michigan, Youngstown, Ohio. You could be in New Zealand. You can catch all the action on the official live stream partner of the USHL, Flow Hockey. And you're not just watching a great hockey game, you're getting a great presentation as well on Flow Hockey and the respective voices around the USHL. And those voices, they love it when the players on the ice do some big things. And we had a whole lot of big performances over the weekend. We had 3 hat tricks over the weekend at least. One in Fargo, one in Des Moines, one in Muskegon that I know of. And none of them were the offensive player of the week. The forward of the week comes from Sioux Falls, and that would be Alexei Vlasov. 2 games, 4 goals for 4 points, a +4 rating. He was phenomenal all weekend. Just 3 games this year in the USHL, and he's joined the herd, and he's made a splash in his short time here in North America. The defenseman of the week skated on this ice right behind me all weekend for the Muskegon Lumberjacks, Xavier Veo. 2 games, 3 assists for 3 points, but how about a +6 rating? Xavier Veo, the L'Ancienne Lorette, Quebec native, the Week 6 defenseman of the week in the USHL. And behind the forward and the defenseman, that's the goalie of the week. And tonight's guest on the U Show, Alan Lendak. 2 games for the Force, 2 starts for Lendak. You saw the celebrations there from Omaha. You can't celebrate too early when Alan is between the pipes. He looked phenomenal all weekend, and we got to talk with him earlier today. Now, we didn't really talk about this weekend's series in Omaha, and we'll go to the conversation in a moment. But what Alan and I did talk about is Slovakian netminders. You look at the USHL goalies of the week to this point. Well, Alan Lendak is in Week 6. Samuel Urban picked up the award in Week 1. Shika Gonziev picked up the award in Week 2. All 3 netminders with the little Slovakian flag next to their name on the line chart. We talked about why the Slovakian goaltenders are doing so well and why come play in the USHL. He gave some really great answers, some really great insight. Talked about his time so far this year in Fargo. Let's send things over to our Week 6 guest and Week 6 USHL goalie of the week, Alan Lendak of the Fargo Force. Welcome into the U Show, week number 6. This week we get to talk with the USHL goalie of the week in week number 6 from the Fargo Force, Alan Lendak. Alan, thank you so much for sitting down and joining us today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So you're in Fargo. It's a pretty decent organization, I'd say. Two good years in a row and a long history of success, but you know, here in the USHL, Fargo is one of 16 teams with a lot of that success. And, you know, that must be pretty attractive. And you had to make a decision on where you wanted to continue your hockey career. And can you talk to us about what the decision looked like in choosing to come to the United States and play in the United States Hockey League with Fargo?
Yeah, I had like a great last year in the national team of Slovakia and in our juniors league. So, coach from Fargo, like CK, Carter Crew, talked to me last season, and he was really nice, and he wants me to come. And I think USHL is one of the best leagues in the world, like juniors leagues. So it's a big opportunity for me, and I'm glad that I'm here in Fargo because it's, I think, the best organization. But
Yeah, that's awesome. And it seems like it's a blast out there in North Dakota with the Force. Kind of, what's your experience been like here in the USHL so far?
Like I have a lot of opportunities. I think I play a lot of games, so I'm thankful to my coaches that they trust me, and I'm trying to do my best and for the team. And I'm glad we won like 5 games in a row. Keep doing.
Yeah, you guys are on a heater, and it's not just the Force who are playing well, but all throughout the USHL, we're seeing some really strong performances, and primarily we'll say the Slovakian goalies are really they're turning heads this year. Shika Gadziev in Muskegon and Samuel Urban in Sioux City, just a couple of them. Kind of talk to us about why Slovakian goalies are doing so well this year in the USHL. What's up with it?
Yeah, I think it's because in Slovakia we have like good goalie school. We have a lot of goalie coaches that told us everything about how to be better, and we have a lot of goalie camps of from like national teams from under 15 to under 20. So it's a wide range of goalies. And
A lot of
yeah,
development. Did you know Samuel and Shika before you got to the USHL?
yeah, I played against Chika in Slovakia. Uh, he played for Slovan Bratislava and Sam Urban. I know him because he was in Slovak national team for like under 18 for a long time, like 3 years, I think.
Yeah. And so what's it mean to you to be able to be here in Fargo and getting to see some people from back home succeeding just like you are here?
Yeah, so I think it's a great opportunity that uh, hockey live it's more like there in USA. It's that it's better community. I think like the more scouts, more stuff like that. Uh, Scouts from college, and it's I think it's the best way like to develop the goalies. Like you can go from USHL to NCAA, and it's a great step between pro hockey and junior hockey, and you can also have a great like school.
Of course. And so in this week, you were 2-0, 902 save percentage, 245 goals against average. Some awesome numbers. 27 saves on 30 shots on Saturday, 24 saves, overtime win on Friday. In a weekend sweep over Omaha, and you get that goalie of the week award. And for you, is earning those accolades and getting the recognition from the league and your counterparts. Is that something that's important to you?
It's nice to hear that, but I don't think like it's the most important my performance. I think the more important is that we are winning right now and uh, keep going, and that individual performances will come with the team success.
100%, especially with the goalies, right? The better the team plays, the more wins. It means that the more saves the goalies are making. So, and then we got one more question for you here, Alan. Obviously Slovakian and a lot of Slovakian goalies back home. We talked about the development with you and Samuel and Shika. But there's always that next guy back home who's thinking about where they want to go play their junior hockey. And so if you were to be sitting across from a young Slovakian goalie, what's your message to them about, the USHL and whether or not it's the right place for them?
Yeah, I think if he has that opportunity to come there and play USHL is the best for him, and if he has like will have like a lot of space in the net there in that quality league, so it's only good for him, and I will count on this place.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. It's a good spot for goalies. We see a lot of success, not just at the college, but also the professional levels from goalies who play here in the USHL. And of course, it starts with a whole bunch of Goalie of the Week awards. So, Alan, congratulations on your Goalie of the Week award this past week, and more importantly, the two wins with Fargo. You guys are playing really well, and we wish you good luck this season.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So welcome back into the U Show. Ezra Gennello along with you. Got to talk with Alan Lendak, and what he's doing is phenomenal. It's not just been this week that he's been playing well, but it's been all season long. And we'll take a look at the USHL goaltending leaders, where you're going to see his name alongside Shika Gadziev, the two Slovakian netminders, along with Samuel Urban in Sioux City. But think about how impressive this is. Not only are they coming and playing in the USAHL at 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, English might not be their number one language, and you might not know the guys in the locker room, and you're still coming, and you're going to Fargo, North Dakota, Sioux City, Iowa, Muskegon, Michigan, Dubuque, Iowa, right? All these different cities, and you're mixing in, you're meshing well, you're playing on a different size ice sheet than you're used to, and you're succeeding. And it's not just the Slovakian netminders that are succeeding. It's the Slovakians, the Russians, the Canadians, the Americans, the Swedes, all of them. The goalie factory that is the USHL. We see a lot of netminders come from this top junior league in the world and make their way to the NHL, the AHL, the NCAA, other professional leagues too. And like I said to Alan, it all starts with a couple of USHL Goalie of the Week awards. It also starts with your name being among the league leaders, which Alan Lendak happens to be, but it's Samuel Urban, along with Jan Shostak, Caleb Heil, and Lendak that lead the USHL in wins for goaltenders. Now, all these stats are among qualified goalies, which coming into Week 7 means you have to have played at least 180 minutes of games this year. Shika Gadziev and 4 other goalies have 4 wins in the goals against average and save percentage. It's Jan Shostak who paces the USHL netminders, a 1.28 GAA and a 9.49 save percentage. Daniel Moore up there for Waterloo. Don't forget about Calvin Vachon, too. 3 talented netminders in the crease, in the pipes for Waterloo. Lachey we'll talk about a bit later when we get to top plays. Gavin Moffat representing the Green Bay Gamblers, and Spoonar representing the Dubuque Fighting Saints in the save percentage and shutouts category. Gadziev, Shostak, Moffat, and Spoonar all have 2 shutouts. And if you look, you have Gadziev has 2 of his 4 wins are shutouts. Shostak, 2 of his 5 wins are shutouts. You don't even see Gavin Moffat. I think he's got 4 wins. Half his wins are shutouts. Spoonar, he's been ridiculously good in the crease for Dubuque this season. So a lot, not just the Slovakians, but a lot of really talented netminders in the crease around the USHL, but their job isn't easy. How about the guys in front of them? The guys whose goal is to put the puck to the back of the net, and there are some who are exceeding their goals. Reed Davitilla, a new point leader in the USHL. They had a big weekend in Fargo, 15 points in first, followed by Daniel Schlein of the Lincoln Stars and Riker Lee of the Madison Capitals. And Landon Gunderson of the Sioux City Musketeers. All those guys have 13 points. Giacomo Martino, best name in the USHL, and Ethan Wittenbach with 12 points each round out the points category. John McNeilis, Wittenbach's line mate, 7 goals, tied up with Merrill Stenari and Grant Dillard. Bobby Cowan, Tate Pritchard, and Jordan Ron all have 6 goals. Ron had a 4-goal performance this weekend for the Force in Omaha. Landon Gunderson continues to lead the league in the assist category with 11. Davitilla, of his 15 points, 10 are assists alongside his defenseman Sam Larilla, while Riker Lee has 9, Ethan Wittenbach, and 4 other players with 8. And then plus minus, we love that statistic. I know it's hit or miss if you like it or you don't like it. I think it's awesome. And Igor Barabanov, he's been on the ice for 12 more goals, 4 than against. He leads the league. Alex Rybakov, John Stout tied for second, Noah Ernest, Matthew Desiderio, and Bryce Ingles round out the USHL league leaderboards in the plus-minus category. Now, those are the guys that are getting points, goals, assists, plus-minus in bunches. But how about the guys that make it look pretty? This week in Week 6, we've had some really pretty plays, both on the offensive side, the defensive side, and in between the pipes. Let's take a look at the USHL Top 5 plays of the week in Week 6. At 5, we make our way to the shootout. 3-3 in Waterloo, but here is Andrew Clark on the breakaway in the shootout. Nice and slow, takes his time, chooses 5-hole, and chooses correctly the 5th play in the USHL this week. We make our way over to the east in Youngstown. Jardine, quick one-timer over the glove. Goalie didn't even stand a chance. He made it 2-0 Youngstown. They picked up a weekend sweep at home. Then in Muskegon, our defenseman of the week, Xavier Veillot, he had 3 assists. Here was one of them. Drew Stewart, he had 3 goals, all in the second period. In that game on Friday, his initial shot got blocked after creating separation, found his own rebound, and put it to the back of the net. At number 2, we're back in Waterloo, but this time it's Lachey. Look at this save. Unbelievable. Getting the glove on the cross ice pass, keeping the game tied up at 1 apiece. The behind the net camera, perfect for those cross crease saves. 3 really good netminders in Waterloo. Then we make our way over to Omaha. Jordan Ron, 4 goals. Doesn't just score the goals, he blocks them too. That was a big blocked shot from Ron, then found a way from his knees to swipe the puck all the way down the ice and into the empty net for his 4th goal of the game, and to put the icing on the cake, the Force, they picked up the 5-3 win on that Saturday matchup. So we got our top 5 plays of the week. Where'd you watch those top plays? Flow Hockey, the official live stream partner of the USHL. We're going to take a quick step aside and say hi to our friends at Flow Hockey, but when we come back, we take a look at the upcoming schedule with a game that starts in 40 minutes. Don't go anywhere. U-Show comes right back here on YouTube Live.
Welcome to the United States Hockey League.
Puck comes back out. Levshunov skating down. Nice move and a goal!
Just spectacular.
That's what an all USHL player does when the lights shine the brightest.
Celebrini, Finley, cuts in.
Welcome back into the U-Show. Ezra Gennello along with you. And Week 7 is here already in the USHL. We're about to start the month of November. Military Appreciation Nights are kicking off. But before we can get to November, there's one more game that we have to play. I think 2. I think we have a Thursday game as well. But for now, tonight on the 29th, it's the Dubuque Fighting Saints at home, starting off Week 7 in the USHL. They take on the Waterloo Blackhawks. Sorry, in Waterloo, not in Dubuque. Puck drop in just about an hour or so. On Thursday, the Fargo Force and Allen Lendak look to continue staying hot as they take on the Des Moines Buccaneers at the Mid-American Energy Recplex in Des Moines, Iowa. Then a 7-game slate on Friday night. Fargo and Des Moines, they're back at it for the 2nd straight night. Omaha and Tri-City, they kick off their 3-3 series. That is a game that we're going to want to see. Muskegon hits the road and heads west to take on Cedar Rapids, first leg of their 2-game series, while the Steel and Gamblers go at it from the Resch Center in Green Bay, the biggest arena in the Eastern Conference. How about that? Dubuque still on the road in Lincoln. Youngstown visits the Madison Capitals, and the Sioux Falls Stampede are in Waterloo. So many games going on Flow Hockey this weekend. We had to get a second graphic made. Saturday, Waterloo, Des Moines. More Cowbell Cup action kicks us off. Dubuque is in Tri-City. Lincoln is in Omaha. The Force and Musketeers go at it. Muskegon, Cedar Rapids, Green Bay, Chicago, the back end of the home-and-home series. The Youngstown Phantoms and Madison Capitals, they close out their weekend series. Well, then on Sunday, Tri-City and Omaha back at it again. Week 7 in the USHL. Listen, normally we give you games to watch. This week, I'm just going to tell you, watch all of them. Get the different TVs, get the different Flow Hockey accounts, turn on as many games as possible because you never know what you're going to see, right? You can have a team that's 0-4 to start the season. Suddenly, they're on a 5-game point streak in their next 5 games, the Omaha Lancers. Grant Dillard going on a crazy long goal streak. David Cleef, 5 straight games with a point, the captain of the Lumberjacks in Muskegon. You're going to get great performances every night, and not just on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but Thursday night as well. Dupaco Cowbell Cup action kicking off in just about 35 minutes from Waterloo. go join my friends Tim Harwood, voice of the Blackhawks, and Josh Starr, voice of the Fighting Saints, on the official live stream partner of the USHL. But for now, we're going to let you go tune into their pregame shows. We really appreciate you tuning in to the U Show. Week number 6, Ezra Gennello along with you. We'll be back right here next week, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, breaking down Week 7. And can you believe it? We're going to take a look ahead at Week 8 next week on the U Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoy your Tuesday night, and we hope you enjoy Week 7 in the USHL. Have a good night.